we had our whole team knock out 12 wraps in one day.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
For me, that's the underlying like metric of success is, can this thing operate and it not just me be the bottleneck at every level? I can very happily and confidently tell you, I don't know the customer's name because
The whole team did it.
the team did it. Are you wrapping cars more than 12 hours a day, every day? Working nonstop but can barely get by? Burnout, missing deadlines, and wondering just how much longer you can keep this up?
That was us too. We started our wrap shop buried under $250,000 in debt, and it felt absolutely impossible. But we dug out, built a profitable shop, and are still in the trenches of owning and operating a wrap shop. We're here to share what we learned along the way so that you don't make the same mistakes that we did.
And we're here to help you with the business side of the wraps, like pricing, building a team, streamlining your systems, ultimately so that you can run your shop and your shop stops running you.
Welcome to the Wrap Ops Podcast, brought to you by Wrap Fam Unleashed. I feel awkward. I feel like I haven't done this in a while.
Oh, I know. It's been, we've had 15 weeks off or something, right?
Yes. Okay. Hi, we're back on the mic. It's been a while, 15 weeks, I think, since we've sat down, been on the mic.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a lot. A lot of things have, good things, but a lot of things have changed. And if you're on the camera version here, we're actually in like a full-on podcast studio now. We're not bumming the public library.
The public library was cool. But yeah, today's format is a little bit different. It's a little bit more, honestly, like you're hanging out with us, having dinner, having a drink.
It's catch up.
It's a catch up because we haven't been on the mic for so long. A lot has happened, so we want to fill you in on that. But yeah, we had all those interviews happen. And if we wouldn't have just had a baby, if Andrew wouldn't have dragged me to a conference 8 weeks postpartum, we would have definitely added more content in the middle of those interviews. But truthfully, I needed those interviews to get us those like 15 weeks to where I can get my feet back on the ground. But everything's great. Our baby's awesome. He's at daycare now, which is cool.
Yeah.
So
turns out having a baby is much harder than you think.
It kept getting harder. It started off, I was like, this is pretty hard. And then I was like, he's awake a lot longer. Okay, I cannot work at the same time as having a baby. So if you are a parent and own a business, I feel your pain. I'm at least starting to feel your pain. I feel your pain 5 months in.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I think we were very optimistic thinking, we'll just be able to keep operating at the same rate and just have a baby on the hip. And
he had his own plan.
Yeah, he did. So
yeah.
But that was one of the things we had to figure out kind of in that little gap since we've been on.
Yeah. So in that time of us kind of being off the mic a little bit as well. So of course I got to wrap up my maternity leave, which was awesome. Maternity leave rocked. Andrew only had 2 weeks of paternity leave, but I do think for a business owner, that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think
there's a lot that probably.
I think generally speaking, to look into that as a business owner, like your company isn't just going to make the policy for you, but we built something to the point that you could take, a full maternity leave. I could take 2 weeks paternity leave. And
yeah,
and it didn't burn down. They kept running.
It didn't go perfect. Don't think
definitely not.
Yeah, there was a lot that went wrong, but the building didn't catch on fire, which was our biggest goal. Of make a decision. We wrap cars.
They held it down.
We're not heart surgeons, as I've said on this all the time, this podcast. So that went really well. I have a couple items here I wanted to make sure that we bring up of things that have happened basically in the past quarter. So this is really like a quarter update of like what we've been working on as a wrap shop owner. So again, I think the biggest appeal to our podcast specifically is that we are still in the trenches of owning a wrap shop. So we can tell you what we've tried, what worked, what didn't work. We're kind of figuring it out along with you guys, as well as, of course, interviewing other people. So kind of fast tracking our knowledge here. So first thing I have on my list here is we brought on a trainer to our team.
We did. Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So we found we're just building to our next constraint that just skill development, someone needed to be in the back to help just grow our current team from a skill level standpoint just from installation. If you're listening to this, we're going to assume you're a wrap shop owner and you know how incredibly hard it is to find someone with the experience already. So we built our model on hire good cultured people and we'll teach them the skill. And that was a great model until now we have 6 people in the back. That became a lot of time and effort for me to try to be focused on that, but also everywhere else that I needed to be as the, kind of the general manager. So Yeah, that was this, and building the job description. It was pretty much, it was as I was writing it, Marcus is just who kept coming to my mind over and over again. It was just as I'm like, man, every line I'm putting into this is like a beautifully gift wrapped, perfect opportunity and fit for Marcus and what I knew there. So it then turned into, we're not going to go to market and try to hire for this. We're going to go to recruit and, try to snipe him, as you will, get him to come to the team.
To talk about Marcus, and I've already talked to Marcus behind the scenes of coming on to here as a guest. So I think that'll be a cool episode to bring him on and kind of hear what he has to say of this whole thing. But if you don't know Marcus at all, so long story short, Andrew has known Marcus since kindergarten, actually. So this is a little weird for us because we never hire family and friends. But that being said, we hired him a long time ago.
6 years ago. Right?
6 years ago. And Andrew essentially completely taught him how to wrap. He was one of the original few installers on the team that learned from like being in Andrew's back pocket. So that being said, if there was someone who wrapped to the caliber of Andrew, it would be Marcus. And the other cool thing about Marcus, if you did not know, Marcus kind of taught me how to wrap, because then how business goes, it got to the point I needed to know how to wrap. And I don't know, I had some complex with you. I just had a hard time with Andrew teaching me how to wrap. But Marcus made it very fun and like just made things easy to remember. Whereas like I felt Andrew was very technical, and everyone learns differently. So maybe someone would learn better from Andrew and I learned better from Marcus. But anywho, he's a really good teacher. He's incredibly patient. And just all the boxes were checked. So then we were in like snipe mode. Like he was working at a different shop, and we were like, how the heck do we like steal him from this shop? Which is interesting because that was a whole new skill we had to learn, which a little bit easier because we know Marcus. So we kind of know what he was looking for. But it was interesting to essentially be in that negotiation phase. Because I will say it wasn't like he just was like, yeah, I'm coming. Like we fight for him.
No, it was. Yeah. I mean, it was to Marcus's credit. He did not come easy. And it took some negotiation. Even who he was currently with then started counter offering.
Yeah, they started negotiating against us.
So yeah, no, that was some uncharted waters, but it ultimately ended in a really good way. Even him with that relationship with that previous shop is not bad either. So it's not like he had to say screw you or anything like that. It was a very just respect across the board from our shop to their shop and him in between that we're playing tug of war with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the elephant in the room of like, wait, he used to work for you, now he didn't. It just really shows, I think, the growth that we've had over the years. Because 6 years ago, I ran a sweatshop, like said bluntly.
Yeah, and he didn't like that. And
his install skill was phenomenal. And at the time, it was, I mean, he's just, at the end of his shift, like, normal people, he wants to go home. He didn't want to burn midnight oil to...
And you did not let people go home.
Yeah, and I did not let people go home, which, was an issue and ultimately led to our, parting ways. But then as we've grown, it's like, that's why I said before, as I was writing this thing, I was like, this position is not...
It doesn't require overtime.
There's no overtime. It's not deadline based. It's like your job is to train and develop the people around you, which really seemed like some other, like, he got the skill. He liked it a lot. He liked teaching people and stuff like that. And then hindsight, or not hindsight, but just some things along the way, like for 3 years that we didn't work together, but he was still in the industry, I was still getting some, because he had worked here and he knew how anal we were about processes and things. I would get the text here and there of just like, man, like there has to be a better way, that they're like, why are they not doing it this way or that way, or something along those lines, or even like quality of output that they were putting out. You could tell it was just a small eating away at him a little bit, because I think he knew his potential was maybe a little higher than where he was at. So yeah, the opportunity to come here to kind of advance in his career in the industry and elevate up that kind of career ladder and growth that he obviously saw that we were on over the years that we were apart, but him, having the ability and opportunity to jump on and help us, continue building this thing, ultimately, I think is what pushed him over the edge. And money,
so
comp package too.
So to summarize all of this kind of like fluff of like we hired a trainer, I think the big takeaways here are, one, if you're a wrap shop owner, have you thought about having a trainer on your team instead of continuously churning and burning through installers? Because this is our new solution, basically. Of course, there's pros and cons. We could probably do a whole episode on this, and we will. But, and two, Marcus was on our radar for being a trainer for years. In the years he was gone, it was always like, this is the position and we know the perfect person for it. But at the time, we didn't have the volume. Then we didn't have any employees in the back to train. So this was kind of like something that I would say has been strategizing and planned for years. And so something about us, if you didn't know, just like you have a sales funnel trying to, get that perfect client and close the deal with them, we also have a talent and recruitment funnel. So let's say Andrew meets someone at a networking meeting or I meet someone somewhere. We literally have a spreadsheet where we're like, this person would be perfect for this role with their contact information so that we can stay in touch with that person. And when that opportunity opens up, then they might be the perfect person. I think sometimes as a business owner, especially a small business owner, when you get busy, you get too obsessed with like the classic Indeed ad, put it out, hope you find someone. But don't forget that you might already know the perfect person. You just need to figure out how to make it a win-win situation for them, a win-win situation for you. And that being said, we've also done this poorly before.
Yeah. And
so we're kind of figuring out the code of how to do it correctly.
And I think as, at least for where we're at, I look at it as, we're the visionary, we're the ones that are kind of the mind behind what we're building and how big we're trying to scale and stuff like that. You have to think big enough that other people's goals and achievements will fit within, the vision and the plan that we have. So with that, with Marcus knowing he wanted that, it was like, man, once we get to a certain size, like that would be a good opportunity. And we have, to that point, I probably have like 8, give or take, other names that are just like, we haven't reached that pinnacle yet. We haven't reached that point yet, but I definitely see our vision growing to the point where we can, start recruiting those people in for different roles that we've met along the way, or they've called in saying they want to work here. We just didn't have an opening or spot for what they had.
That's
it's like,
a big
man,
one
I
too.
really like that person. Let's stay in contact. I just don't have the opening for them right now.
Yeah. And also in regards to the training aspect too, what's also cool is the rest of our business is going through this, basically put your SOPs on paper. How can we train new people coming in and it not be me and Andrew directly training them?
Yep.
So we're trying to figure out how can we hire more people without that bottleneck of like, I have to sit down with them for 6 months or Andrew has to sit down with them for 6 months. And we use our own team to create that training to help get them help because they are drowning. So that's going really well. So that's exciting. So we could go in on that as well. Then we started with all of these trainings that we've been creating. We started cross training.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
too.
And this goes all the way back to an episode I had with Sean Kinney. If you guys want to go back and listen to that one, he was the one who said that his shop benefited so much from cross training, and it's been like on our list since last SEMA. So we're coming up on a year of like even knowing that existed, which sounds so silly. Yeah. Because when you said it, it's like, duh, like why are we not doing that?
Yeah, no, I would say a year ago, rough number, our print operator. So Elena went on vacation for a week, and she's very good at her job. Like she has that, down. And, we have PTO now. We try to encourage, like, take care of yourself, go on vacation. And she did. She took a week vacation. She came back a day early on a Sunday to keep the printer rolling because no one was holding down her position while she was gone. No one here was trained for it, to try to get ahead. And then I watched her operate in a state of stress for like 10 days, trying to get back on her feet from the week she missed.
Yeah, so it's like a punishment for
it was like, oh, you went on vacation, now you're punished, for it. And that was an additional trigger of like, all right, this has to change. We can't have someone go on vacation and then have anxiety, because I also know she was checking in like the Wednesday before too. So it's like, if that's on your mind on a Wednesday, well, now you just ruined the last 3 days of your vacation because you're too stressed out about what's coming. She ended up, like I said, coming in an early day. So fast forward to this year, and the time that we've been gone, she has now taken that week vacation, and we had someone else on our team cross-trained on.
Wasn't perfect, but enough
by
to
all
get
means,
by.
it wasn't perfect, but she didn't have to come back in early. She didn't have to check in and see how things were going, and she came in on Monday like normal, pretty much on track and on our feet.
And that was an installer who was interested. So we surveyed the whole team and basically asked, if you were to learn a second position here in the business, what interests you? And some people weren't interested in anything, and that's fine. But we had some that were interested in other things. So it's like, okay, well, let's get you trained on that.
Yeah. And
so that's been going on as well.
I was gonna say, for me, that was huge. Like, I was ready to pop champagne bottles and confetti, because for someone on our team to be able to take a week vacation, someone else on our team handle it. And heavy emphasis on the someone else. Like, it wasn't all weight on our shoulders to try to keep all the pieces together.
Yeah, that's probably a big key takeaway from this entire episode, is like everything we've done this past quarter, but also who on our team has helped us do it.
Yeah. And like, I didn't, we
didn't cross train the person, and we didn't
do the cross training.
We didn't do the work that we got.
I didn't have to check in.
And we didn't make the training.
Yeah. I didn't have to check in on her every day of like, what are you doing today? Are you getting this done or anything? Like, it literally was just as if like that entire, what would have been fire and stressor literally wasn't even on my radar. It was just handled.
Yeah.
So no, that was huge. That was one. I mean, we've had a lot to celebrate over the last quarter, but at least professionally in here, that was one of the biggest ones that I'm like, holy crap, we have moved a needle. We're doing something right. Someone can go on a week vacation and the whole thing be handled. No, no failures, and nothing was on our plate.
So moving on. Next one is marketing. So as I sat here and talked to you guys about marketing, I was like, I feel like an idiot, because I want to be more knowledgeable than the knowledge that I had. So I decided I'm going to be knowledgeable and started going crazy on marketing research. And basically, like, if I were a marketing firm, how would I market our wrap shop? And started going into the weeds of that. And so that got really exciting, because we essentially developed a pretty decent plan. It essentially is just like coming up with campaigns that deal with all intermingled of organic content, paid content, direct mailers, email marketing campaigns, all the way down to like providing a leads list of who clicks on the email and giving it to sales, all of that to say. So I started getting into that world, and it's a good start. So that's really exciting. So marketing is on the up and up. So the success that we see, we'll definitely have an episode on that and dive more into the weeds of that. And then next one on the list, we hired 2 business development reps.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that one?
Sure. So back to what we talked about before and bringing on Marcus. The question that I think we've always kind of filtered ourselves, and you can attest how much over the years you pretty much pushed for, like, can we get a marketing budget? Can we do this? And it was just always no. You have no money. Figure it out organically.
It's always the answer for everything. No money.
And it's a lean startup. So like, there isn't like just, trust fund baby cash to like, or investors or anything like that. So it was very lean of like paying attention to where every dollar went. But the underlying question was, if we 2x or 3x our business this year, can we even handle it? And I'm a huge believer, at least with our business's local market reputation, all of that, is like, you get one opportunity. If you get to work with this fleet one time and you screw it up, they're never calling you again. You already screwed up your one opportunity. So with that was, if we bring in customers too quickly, it's going to expose everything that is going to break. They're getting a bad relationship and losing the customer. So it was always, can we 2x or 3x? The answer is no. Fix the foundation. Don't fix the revenue. Well, bringing on Marcus, the impact was felt so quickly that for the first time in like company history, the answer to could we 2x or 3x this business was like, holy crap, it's a yes.
And it was actually needed, because our team was getting everything done and getting like 2-3 days off a week. And we were like, holy cow, we need to increase sales like yesterday.
Exactly.
Because what we were selling for, which was normal, was now not enough to give all of our team hours. So it was like instant too. It was crazy. It was like Marcus came on and like, boom.
Well, the productivity rate just went through the roof. Like just him being there, being that support person that I wasn't able to be because I'm just spread too thin. So a dedicated person to be there when someone, raised their hand and needed some support or help was huge. So that then came to, okay, if we're going to 2x or 3x this business, I can't, I can close a sale, but I can't fulfill that on my own and be that type of rep. I don't have the time to go out and do all of the relationship building, all of the door knocking, all of the cold calling. So that came to hiring sales reps. After years of running a wrap shop, I've learned this. Your supplier should be a partner, not a question mark. That's why we trust Grimco. For over 5 years now, they have delivered on time and backed us when it mattered most. There's enough to manage in this business. Your supplier should not be one of them. Set up your new account today. Use code RAPOPS5 for 5% off your first order with Grimco.
So let's talk about the hiring of the business development reps, because I think that's really interesting. So how many hours would you say you put into, and I had Andrew, so Andrew's Mr. Sales. So normally I write every job description, but on this one, I was like, I feel like this one is really your baby, like your department. So why don't you write the job description and send it to me, and then I'll tweak. So how many hours do you think you put in to writing this job description?
To the job description alone, 50 hours easy.
And I bring this up because I feel so fast. People are like, I can't find anybody. No one wants to work. I can't hire for this position. And then I go look at the job description and it's either 4 sentences or it's just some ChatGPT garbage. It's like a lot of fluff, but not appealing in any way. It doesn't say what's in it for them. It doesn't say what's in it for you. Why should you join the team? All of those things. So I wanted to specifically highlight that because it's like garbage in, garbage out. So I was like, okay, if we're going to hire a sales rep and it's going to be a pretty high paid person because it's a very integral person, like we need to rock this out. Like we need a solid job description, solid onboarding, solid training. Like you need to put your head down and do that.
And I think that's a good thing to point out as well. You have to make, when we went into this, we had to make the decision, are we going for an A player, like a shark in the water, like a phenomenal person at this?
That will cost more.
That will obviously come with what that costs. Or are we trying to go entry level and get somebody just sitting there, that maybe doesn't have a whole lot of sales experience or track record and like roll the dice on something like that?
That we could train and that would cost less.
Yeah.
And we chose shark.
We chose shark.
We chose shark.
And it really was
which is scary also.
It was super scary. Like,
because we're fronting money we don't have in the hopes that they make it.
Yeah.
Via sales.
No, it was crazy stressful. Honestly, still is.
Yeah,
like
we're still in it.
They're only in like they just had their like 15-day check-in. So
yeah. So we hired 2. We did the whole process. We hired 2 and had their onboarding training. Everything's going really well. But that being said, there was a ton of thought and time put into everything.
So 50 hours into the job description, 5 of those hours alone were different, like phone calls, lunches. Like I went out and sought advice from just people in my network, people like customers. I literally called some of our top customers and said pretty much like, there's no way you have 50 vans on the road if you don't have a sales department. Like, how are you doing it? What's your advice? If you could do one thing different,
which is also nice because that doubles as a touch point with your customers and makes them, like if they were to leave us, I feel like they'd feel like a little bit bad because they're like, oh, we're kind of friends with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So always have that up your sleeve that you can call your own customers to ask business advice, and everybody loves talking about themselves. So, I mean, did you have anybody that told you to F off? And
I mean, I definitely had a lot of emails that didn't get responded to.
Yeah. And that's normal.
So
they're
like
busy.
that's a numbers game. But anyone that actually did respond gave me very thoughtful responses. It was either they just didn't respond at all, which I would assume you're just busy.
Yeah.
Or insecurity and they don't feel like they actually knew how to help me, so they just chose not to respond.
Maybe so, yeah.
But out of everyone that did respond, I mean, I would post it in a Facebook group, and then my phone just blew up with people in my network, like way too long to try to respond to that. So I'm just going to call you, and we had conversations that way. So got a lot of good information there. Again, had to make that decision of, are we going for an A player? Or are we going for a roll the dice long-term train? And That again was just the job description, and then in my mind, that's actually when the real work started, because then you got to get onboarding, and like I've been selling this for 9 years. It would be a disservice if I brought them on and said, "Go sell, good luck," and I didn't take the time to try to package my 9 years of experience and what I've learned the hard way into teachable, learnable lessons, so that they hit the ground running as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
And with that, they started 2 weeks ago. One is already sold his first full van rep, like closed the deal, deposit paid, on the schedule. And both of them have pretty high targets. Like another one's chasing 12 vehicles that want graphics on it. And yeah, I mean, there's multiple very like hot opportunities that both of them are, circling and closing like right now. So
So far it's going well.
It's going well.
And good news for you guys, because hopefully we can report back with here's how to hire a sales rep for your wrap shop. So that'll be that. Moving on, we can talk about that one forever. Anniversaries out the butt. We finally have employee retention, people.
Oh my gosh.
It's taken forever. And now it's kind of funny because I made a decision that I did not birth all of our employees. So why are we focusing more on their birthday than their anniversary with the company? Because I did hire them, but I did not birth them. So if you've listened to our episodes before, for birthdays at our shop, we give them the day off paid, go party it up on your own for your birthday. I mean, we'll still tell them happy birthday, shoot them a text, and ask how it was when they got back. But their anniversary, we let them pick whatever lunch they want. And like this weekend, we're piling everyone up and we're going to get gelato from our local gelato shop. That was what this person picked. We had another anniversary last week. So they also get typically, it depends on the position and what it is. They might get some sort of raise, and then they also get a week of PTO added on. So that's kind of our thank you for sticking it out for another year. But it's just exciting because I remember when people worked with us for 2 to 6 months, and that would be it. We never hit 1 year.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to be celebrating 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. So I thought that was important to mention because we just did 2 in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
No, it's huge. I mean, we only have, 1 left that hasn't hit his full year yet off of the current team?
Sam.
Oh, Sam. Yeah. So, and she's coming up too. But
so we can finally say our team is at least a year old.
Yeah. Well, kind of. We just brought on the sales reps, and then with that, we'll end up bringing on like 4 more in the install department this quarter.
But that, again, isn't something we stumbled on. That took a lot of work to figure that out. So we're pretty proud of that. The next one is we had our whole team knock out 12 wraps in 1 day.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
Another huge one, if you notice my internal celebrations are like what the team can do and without me. For me, that's the underlying like metric of success is, can this thing operate and it not just me be the bottleneck at every level? So please go on about the 12 wraps, but I can very happily and confidently tell you, I don't know the customer's name. I know the company name. I don't know our point of contact.
Yeah.
Because like
the whole team did it.
The team did it.
Well, Andrew did specifically come in to ensure that in order to achieve this goal of 12 wraps in 1 day with our team, and it was on site, so it wasn't even in our shop, you did have to review the design just to make sure, like little things like, are we removing hardware on every single vehicle? That's going to add multiple hours. So those little tips and tricks.
I was a consultant.
You're a consultant on how to do this the most effective and efficiently. So that's super exciting. We're very proud of that. And yeah, when we said we could do 12 wraps in 1 day, if I am remembering correctly, they didn't even get quotes from anybody else. That was the end.
Yeah, no.
They bought our team lunch, which was really sweet.
So that was the big, when Sam brought it to me that, hey,
that is our front desk person.
Yeah, sorry. So when she brought it to me and just said, this is the situation, I'm quoting this, it's obviously a big one. So I think I don't know if she even really needed my assistance more than just like, it's exciting. Like you're quoting something that big. And when I realized they were 2 hours away, that my consulting side I was like, we'll do this on site. And then in the discovery call, figure out their budget, all of that stuff. But I was like, if we're making them daisy chain 2 hours away on every one of these vehicles, I was like, we'll lose this.
Yeah.
So it was.
And that was really intuitive on your end of what's the actual pain point of the customer. they need their vans wrapped and they want it to be done easily.
Yeah.
So by just saying, hey, just have your vans parked, we'll take care of the rest. It's like, done. Why wouldn't you go with us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So.
there was no rebuttal on price, nothing. It was just as pretty much as soon as Sam came back with, we got to get all the ducks in a row. There's going to be a lot of communication on the front end that we have to get a lot of answers from you to like line this up perfectly because you're 2 hours away and we're going to be on an island working on all your stuff. There is no come back or forget something.
Yeah.
Or a variable not known. But we could send the farm to you and just knock all this out in one sitting. I mean, they approved it like literally that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to your point. I then so they weren't full coverage wraps. They were partial wraps. But with that, I then consulted with the designer that was on it and just said, if we can avoid the little transit emblem, if we can avoid that door handle, and if it saves 30 minutes a vehicle, it could be the difference between us accomplishing this and getting home easy or it not going well. That was pretty much it. He handled the rest, got it designed. I just peeked at the print file setup just to confirm that was set up right. And then the Marcus, who was kind of the lead running out, basically just consulted with him to go over his game plan because he has basically 6 people with him. So how are you going to just manage the attack? And that was it. I was pretty much just a consultant at each level, like legitimately probably more than 15 minutes with each part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. They handled it, took care of it.
And I do want to point out too, because if you're confused, like I thought Marcus is the trainer, why is he going on this on-site install that lasted all day? So we had just hired the sales reps that week.
Mm-hmm.
Their first day was Monday and that install was on Thursday. So Andrew basically pulled Marcus aside and was like, I can't go to this. Like, can you take point in this? And this is like the really cool thing that's starting to happen with a team that we've never had before is like people are helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And he was willing to help out and step up and do that role. And the other cool thing we tried to do for our team as well is they all got, so the install was on Thursday, the whole team got Friday off and paid. And that was basically like the reward for like working late on a Thursday and getting this job done. We also, we offered lunch and dinner. I think the company ended up purchasing lunch, but I guess the whole staff went to like Texas Roadhouse after, which I just thought was hilarious. That like I would have like ran through McDonald's or something.
Yeah,
they went to Texas Roadhouse. So whatever. Apparently we bought them all steak, and but we'll take it because it went really well. So that was just a really big milestone for our company that we were able to achieve that, and now they've done it once, so hopefully they can do it again.
Yeah.
So I thought that was important to bring up, and to kind of close us out here, we have a couple final things that happened this quarter, specifically with Wrap Op. So this one's more on our podcast versus the wrap shop itself. So I did partner up with Austin with Pain is Dead, if you are familiar with him. And we are planning the 2026 Wrap. I joke and call it that because it's WW Wrap for a worldwide wrap event. Austin, if you're listening to this and that made you sad, I'm sorry. That's what we say. We're like, how's Wrap going? But anywho, it's going to be a super cool event. So it takes place during the week of SEMA. It's on Thursday night at a separate venue apart from the convention center. It's that evening. If you go to WWRAP, so WWWRAP, rapevent.com. Everything is on there. If you're interested in joining in on the fun, there's going to be an award ceremony. Nominations are open. So they give out awards for like best female rapper, best male rapper, best rap shop, best design. Like there's like, I think 9 or 10. So go check those out. Nominate someone on your team, nominate your shop. And you might just win an award at SEMA week. And there's also a 3-course dinner being served this year. So we converted it to a gala style dinner. So that is going on. There's also a rap battle going on. We're looking for volunteers for that to participate in the rap battle. All the information's on the website, but I'm just super stoked because I actually plan events in my hometown and it's exciting to take that skill and merge it with the rap industry. And I think it's going really well. So shameless plug for the event. I would love it if you guys could attend because we're working really hard to plan it. And you get to meet us if you wanted to meet us in person. So actually, when you first show up, there'll be some photography happening, kind of red carpet theme. You walk up, get your picture taken. And just like the red carpet, me and Andrew will be there, mic'd up, doing interviews. So be ready. We're coming with some hard-hitting questions. What are you wearing? I'm just kidding. I don't know what we're going to ask. But it's going to be great. So anyway, that's in Las Vegas on, oh my gosh, is it November 4th?
I believe
I think
so.
that's today. I'm horrible with numbers, guys. If you know me, there's something wrong with numbers in my head.
But if you're going to be at SEMA, which you should be, that should be one that you kind of annually go to.
That's a fun one, and you learn a lot.
If you're in this industry, there's a few of those kind of pillar shows and events, like ISA kind of in the beginning of the year. You got SEMA in the latter of the year. Those should definitely be on your radar. But if you're going to go to SEMA, you have to come to that event. She kind of honestly downplayed herself. So she said she just ran some of our city's events. She runs one of our city's like largest events. So I jokingly call it the largest and best festival on this side of the Mississippi. But it's actually like a 2-day event, ends with fireworks. There's like 40 craft vendors, however many food trucks, full kids zone. 10,000 plus people roll through this. 15,000 plus people roll through this festival, to the point our city approached her after the first year of her running it and was like, we want to make you a core 4. Like, you had the full, force behind our local parks department to whatever she needs. It's, she says jump and they figured it out.
Well, thank you.
So
it's the Rock and Green Tomato Festival. So if you ever go to a cheesy festival like the Corn Festival or the Strawberry Festival, I do our town's tomato festival. And that's a whole separate story on why our town picked green tomatoes. But
yeah, but I mean, just like that level of organization to run a 2-day festival that big, and now you're joining the community and with Austin to help run the one night event for our industry, I think is huge. You bring in a lot of expertise and skill there. So super excited to see that going on. And that the WW Rap event is it the 10th year? I mean, it's not the
10th
first
year of it happening. So that's why we're going all out, going special, going crazy with it. And it is on November 4th. I checked. Sorry about that. I'm bad with numbers. But it's on the evening of November 4th. You do have to RSVP. That's all on the website. But yeah, 10th year of it. And basically, in case you're like, how the heck did she land this? I asked. I say that because sometimes there's not some crazy method to getting involved in something you want to get involved in. I just simply reached out to Austin and said, this looks like a lot of work. Do you want help?
Yeah.
And so I don't get paid or anything for that. I did ask if our Wrap Ops logo could be at the bottom of the website. So check that out. Yeah. But I built the whole website to try to organize everything. And then we have monthly calls. We just had a sponsorship call today. So maybe if you're a manufacturer or distributor or a brand listening to this podcast and you're interested, definitely reach out. Now's the time to finalize those sponsorship opportunities. But yeah, should be a great event. I'm excited. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the only like rap industry specific event. Like, we're not mixed with signs. Mm-hmm. It's just vinyl raps. Like, so if you want the most like niche audience of rappers in some capacity of whatever you do in the rap industry, this is the room really to be.
Yeah. And if you're in the rap industry, you have to be there because there isn't recognition in our industry like this night that you're throwing up.
The final two things I just want to mention here is, if you didn't know, Andrew does a live every single week on the Rap Institute's website where it's a live Q&A. You can ask any question. When does that happen?
Every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. You log into your Rap Institute account, go to the live classes, and you'll see my pretty face on the little thumbnail. And yeah, every Thursday at 2 p.m. It's basically a live Zoom call. So come ready, like turn your mic on, turn your camera on. We have a kind of a guided topic usually each week, but it's
kind of open mic.
Yeah, it's a good open synergy. You learn from me, you learn from other people in the room. So yeah, every Thursday at 2 p.m., log into your Rap Institute account and join that call. And if you don't have a Rap Institute, use our Rap Ops 15%
off.
To sign up for your subscription. So, yeah. And
all our promo codes are on our website as well, rapops.com.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on behind the scenes. We have to skedaddle out to grab our baby before daycare closes.
Yeah.
But definitely tune in to the next episode. We have a great one lined up for you. We are going over the top symptoms that you might be the bottleneck to your own business. And we hinted on some of it today. Mm-hmm. So be tuned in next Tuesday. You know, we have an episode coming out every single week. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. We're also on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you next time. The Rap Institute, the largest online rap training platform, now with a special offer. Use our code RAPOPS15 for 15% off your order.